call the meeting to order. Roll call, please.
Mayor Rankin.
Here.
Vice Mayor Walter.
Here.
Councilmember Woolridge.
Here.
Councilmember Hawkins.
Here.
Councilmember Glean.
Here.
Councilmember Anderson.
Here.
Councilmember Wall. Here. We have a quorum.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, now we'll take a moment of silence followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. Heck of a week, brand new year. Let's give it all we got. Thank you. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God,
indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Next is called to the public for public comment on issues within the jurisdiction of the town council. Council rules limit public comment to 3 minutes. Individual council members may respond to criticism made by those commenting, may ask staff to review a matter raised, or may ask that a matter be put on a future agenda. However, members of the council shall not discuss or take any action on any matter during an open call to the public unless the matters are properly noticed for discussion and legal action. Do we have any slips, Lisa?
We do not have any slips, sir.
At this time, the floor is open if anybody would like to come up and speak to us. Seeing no movement, we'll close call to the public.
Item 6, presentations. Before we go on to presentations, I just did want to say that there was a brief change to the agenda. If you noticed, what we did was we add the council's information on the top of the agenda, and then as you see each presenter, the department head that is responsible for the item appearing before council is listed in parentheses. I just wanted to make sure both the council and the public were aware of the change. Item 6, presentations. 6A, presentations of the Arizona Rangers program by Jim Huber. Mr. Huber?
Evening, council members, Mr. Mayor. First, I want to thank you for this opportunity for me to speak in front of you and give you a brief glimpse into what the Arizona Rangers are and what they would like to do as far as goals and their mission. I have a very brief, about 5-minute presentation for you. So, the first regional law enforcement effort in Arizona occurred in 1901 when the territorial governor organized the Arizona Rangers. The small force, of which there were no more than 26 at any time, made a strong impact on the rustling and smuggling in Arizona. They were disbanded in 1909, 3 years before Arizona achieved statehood. 22 years later, because of concerns regarding the growing number of accidents and unlicensed vehicles on the highways, the Arizona Highway Patrol was instituted as a branch of the Arizona Highway Department. So, and they state this on their website, that the Arizona Highway Patrol's roots began with the Arizona Rangers. Today's Rangers were officially recognized by the state of Arizona in 2002 when Arizona Governor Jane Hull signed Legislative Act 41. The purpose of this act was to recognize the Arizona Rangers, who formed in 1901, disbanded in 1909, and then were reorganized again in 1957 by the original, or some of the original Arizona Rangers. The Arizona Rangers' goal is to provide help, relief, and offer their support, especially to small towns. In the past, we have, in the town of Hayden, provided support for an event during the 100-year anniversary of the Catholic Church. And for the town of Kearney, we provided support for the Pioneer Days event and support during the Shipman and more recent Kearney River fire. My purpose in being here tonight is that we know small towns are having financial problems, and police departments are looking to us for support. We survive solely on donations, and any donations that we receive, a portion of that is given back to various charities, and we also support families that are struggling. I have met with Chief Hughes. We had a brief discussion as well about what the Arizona Rangers, what we are, what our goals are, and what our mission is. Today's Rangers are all unpaid. We're all volunteer, law enforcement support, and assistance civilian auxiliary for the state of Arizona. We work cooperatively at the request of and under the direction, control, and supervision of established law enforcement agencies. We also provide youth support and community service and work to preserve the tradition, the honor, and the history of the original Arizona Rangers. That is our goal, to keep that tradition alive of the Rangers. Thank you for your time. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Jim. Appreciate it very much. Thank you for coming and enlightening us on your organization.
I appreciate the time. Thanks very much. Thank you to Chief Hughes as well.
Okay.
Have a good meeting.
Thank you.
Item B, presentation by the Greater Florence Chamber of Commerce recognizing the Fudge Shop as the business of the month.
Good evening, Mayor, Council. Thank you for allowing us to present the business of the month for January. This month, it's a store that, I got here about 2 years ago, and they were the first people that I went to see and have a sandwich. And they were the greatest people in the world. They're just hometown, small town, community-friendly people. They put the capital C in community involvement. They're a large supporter of the Pregnancy Center. They are strongly associated with the Dying for Arizona, and they're glad to represent the little small towns on Main Street. Money raised in this store goes to the Mosaic Church, and it's a blessing to have them one of the business of the month. So please join me in congratulating the Florence Fudge Shop as business of the month.
Oh,
Okay, come on, Doretta.
that's going to look really good, isn't it? Well, we do want to thank you for your support for the town, for allowing us for what we consider as a great privilege for the spot that we have. We love being in the historic hotel, and that I'm sure brings in some business to us. People love the atmosphere that we have in there. And we have great customer service from Corey and Bree and a couple other girls who work part-time, but mostly these two run it most of the time, and they're a pleasure to work with. And Jim said that we give the money to Mosaic Church, but I'm sorry, he was wrong. I don't very often tell you that, but you were wrong. It doesn't go to the church. It does go to Love Works, and the church actually owns the Fudge Shop, and then we pay we're the biggest funder for Love Works, which is a pregnancy center, which has really served the town with clothes and diapers and counseling and parenting classes and all kinds of things. So we're just really thrilled to be picked as the business of the month, and we're really grateful for the support we've had from the town and from the Chamber of Commerce. Thanks.
Thank you, Doretta. I wish that fudge didn't have so many calories.
She also has a very healthy alternative. She has amazing sandwiches and salads, and they test everything out. If you have a recipe, you want to bring it down and try to make it healthy, they'll try to help you out.
Item C, presentation from the 150th Anniversary Ad Hoc Committee. Mr. Hughes?
Mayor, council members, we've been fortunate to meet twice, the ad hoc committee that was put together for the 150th. We invited business leaders and community leaders from around Florence to take part, school district, our local prisons, some of the businesses, and of course a few of our council members. And we had two good meetings. First meeting was kind of just throw everything out there and see what stuck. And the second meeting, we kind of narrowed things down a little bit to include really focusing on our existing events as much as possible and really just trying to make it more of a marketing effort to bring people to Florence, bring our residents to our events that might not be coming to it, and really just kind of an outreach to showcase town. We also discussed a few new events, potential events, including a Native American rodeo, classic car show, a military appreciation day, and a New Year's Eve spectacular similar to what was done at the Millennium in 1999-2000. So again, some of those new events, they're not budgeted for, so we're kind of waiting to see how sponsorship comes out. We sent out, I want to say, about 70 different letters to potential sponsors a few weeks ago, and we're waiting to see who responds to that between now and the end of the month, and possibly even a little bit after that. We allow sponsors to sponsor individual events too throughout the year, not just what we have coming up immediately. But again, that's one thought as far as doing some new events. We even had some folks say, hey, maybe we want to scale back a little bit and just do a few of these things and do them really, really well. So that's some things we're pursuing too. We also discussed the logos, which were sent to you guys via email and then released in the paper this past week, and the possibility for generating some more revenue through sales of banners that would go on the street poles here and in the Anthem area and potentially up at Florence Gardens. We would pre-sell those to those that were interested, and then at the end of the year when we take them down, they would get them. And at that time, if there's any left over, folks could still buy those, and hopefully that will help offset the cost of those banners. And then the other thing that was discussed briefly, and we're still looking into, haven't decided on any particular vendors, but merchandising that would have some of those logos and things on them that would help go towards paying for some of these events. So again, we've had some great people come to the meetings. This last meeting, we had the Masonic Lodge and Sons of the American Legion who came, and both groups were interested in really taking a bigger chunk out of some of the events. In particular, the Sons of the American Legion, we asked to look at the Military Appreciation Day, and then also the Mounted Posse showed up, and they're looking at the possibility of the Native American rodeo. So I think we've got some good partners, and we probably haven't even identified all the ones that will be participating in some of these events throughout the year, but I think it's a good start, and it's something that we'll continue to work on throughout the year. So with that, I'll answer any questions, or if the mayor has anything he'd like to add.
Brian, explain about the advertisement to social media.
Mayor, council members, we did form a subcommittee that we want to look at how we can reach out a little bit more through social media in addition to traditional marketing resources such as the newspapers and flyers and things like that. As you know, a lot of folks are on Facebook and LinkedIn and Twitter, and so we want to try and do a little bit of targeted marketing to areas that are nearby, whether that's Coolidge, Casa Grande, the Santan Valley, and get those folks to come down. And with the tools available on social media at a nominal cost, you can target those areas, and they're very, very good and very specific about reaching those particular areas. So that's something we're looking into. We have a subcommittee, and we're getting together Thursday night, and we're going to present something to the whole committee when we meet again on the 28th.
And Mark Cowan has graciously accepted to sit on that committee, right, Mark? Yeah. And we got a lot of things planned. We're trying to do it with donations rather than come out of the town coffers, except what Brian would usually spend on his projects or his programs. Anything extra we're trying to bring in. The letters have gone out stating, I know that a lot of you've had some contact with some of the letters. The thing I would recommend on that is to do a follow-up, maybe a telephone call, because I know there's some addresses that may have been correct that we need to change.
Yes.
And get a hold of who we need to. The next meeting is going to be?
Thursday, January 28th at 5 p.m.
And that will be at the Library Rec Center?
Correct.
And I guess, Jim, you're going to be there, right? And we got to, let's see, there's 2 members in here. I have 3 members of the public that are in here tonight, and I really appreciate that and glad to see you here tonight. We just got to keep making it as big as we can. But again, the dollars are going to dictate how far we can go. The banners came out, I think will be good. We're reporting back to the council because I think we need to do this on a monthly basis to let you know where we're at and what we're doing. And so you expect to hear Brian and I every month this year. And hopefully we have a lot of money left over so we can put one heck of a New Year's on. That's my goal. Like we had in the millennium. A lot of you weren't here for that. Jennifer, you were, weren't you? No. Terry was. And we put on a heck of a party that people around the state were asking if we're going to do it again. They wanted to come. They didn't understand how much it could cost, but they enjoyed the festivities. Brian, thank you.
Thank you.
Item 7, consent. All items on the consent agenda will be handled by a single vote as part of the consent agenda unless a council member or member of the public objects at the time the item is called. Item A, approval of the Coolidge Florence Elks Lodge 2,350 special events liquor license application to the Arizona Department of Liquor License and Control for their special events to be held January 23rd, 2016 from 3 p.m. to 12 a.m. at Anthem Merle Ranch Union Center, 3925 North Sun City Boulevard, Florence, Arizona, and on February 14, 2016 from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. at Charles Whitlow Memorial Rodeo Grounds at 4900 South Highway 79, Florence, Arizona. Item B, approval of the Pinal County Historical Society Special Event Liquor License application to the Arizona Department of Liquor License and Control for their special events to be held on February 26, 2016 from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. and on March 3rd, 2016 from 4:30 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. at the Pinal County Historical Museum, 715 South Main Street, Florence, Arizona. Item C, approval of Caliente del Sol's property owner's application for a special event liquor license to the Arizona Department of Liquor License and Control for their Spring Fling fundraiser to be held on February 20th, 2016 from 2 to 7 p.m. at 3520 South Dakota, Florence, Arizona. Item D, approval to suspend the Town of Florence special event vendor permit rules for the Road to Country Thunder event and allow the 100 Club to coordinate the vendors for the fundraiser on April 2nd, 2016. Item E, approval of the Pinal County Property Use Agreement for the use of a vacant lot located at 383 North Main Street for the Road to Country Thunder event on April 2nd, 2016. Item F, approval of the Town of Florence 2016 General Plan Amendment application and hearing schedule. Item G, approval of the December 7th and December 21st, 2015 council minutes. Item H, to receive and file the November 19th, 2015 Planning and Zoning Commission minutes. Mayor and members of council, that is your consent agenda for this evening.
Does any member of the council have anything they'd like taken off the consent agenda? Does any member of the public have anything they'd like taken off the consent agenda? Seeing no movement, I'll call for the question. Need a motion?
I'd make a motion that we approve the consent agenda.
A second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda. Any other discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for the question. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Second call to the public for anybody from the public that has any comment. Under the same rules you were at the first one. Seeing no movement, close call to the public, call to the council. John?
Yes, I'm involved on 2 of the committees that we talked about tonight, the 150 and the Arts and Culture. And I know that we have a lot of openings on other committees. I'd like to encourage our citizens to get involved on these committees. These committees are really enjoyable to be on. We have a lot of nice people there, and we learn a lot about the town. Particularly for someone like me who's not a native, I've learned more about Florence being on these committees, and I just
can't express the appreciation I have of being on these committees, and appreciate the work that Parks and Recs has done on the 150, and the people that are on the arts and culture. They're so involved. I think you're going to be surprised when you see their quick draw contest. And that's not with guns, by the way. And they keep saying, add that footnote. But, and I also want to thank the newspaper. We are, constantly getting good publicity from our newspaper editor, and I want to thank him. And I also tell people who don't subscribe to it, you should subscribe to it. You can also get that on the web. You can go in and look at the website and read the newspaper. So that's my current events.
That was a paid advertisement. Thank you, John.
Yeah.
Becky? I just want to continually thank all of the employees of the town, the staff and administration for the hard work that they're putting in on the budget. I get routine updates on it, and they're doing a fantastic job. I know sometimes it's not always pleasant to work on these budgets, but we're going to come out. We always come out on top. Thank you.
Bill?
I agree with what John said and Becky both, but I'd just like to, one thing, the Chamber has their new book out, and if you haven't seen it, it's really, really nice. They show the water tower and the old courthouse and the anthem and the old Silver King and F Mountain and our new sign over here at the library. It's very impressive. I really like it. I want to thank the Chamber.
Karen?
I would just like to encourage everyone to make sure that you're registered to vote for the upcoming voting cycle. There's a presidential preference election coming up soon, and if you are not registered to vote either in any of the recognized parties, you would not be able to vote in that. And also for the upcoming May and August and November cycles. If you've moved, if you've changed your address, if you just came into Pinal County, I would encourage all of you to register to vote.
Valerie?
I do not have any current events to share tonight that would not be redundant, so I will pass.
Thank you. Sarah?
Of course. I just want to remind everybody that we have a lot of events going on in our town, especially through our Parks and Rec department. I noticed they were recently offering some CPR classes that are starting as well. Many library events that are going on. Just want to keep everybody active and involved in the community. We do have a lot of businesses that have recently come in. I encourage residents to visit them, frequent them, keep them involved in our town. Bud Shop, congratulations. Appreciate what you do for our community as a whole, and look forward to you being there for a long time.
Long time. Well, brand new year. A lot of troubled water ahead of us when it comes to finances. But I too want to say thank you to our staff for working all of you together to make Florence make it work. We're going to have a busy season this year with elections. At least three elections. May 17th is going to be a very important election to make sure that we have the finances available to continue to provide the services and to go forward. And we will be going out and I don't like to say educate, but informing the public as to what the situation is. So be looking forward to us. Anytime that you have any questions on it, please get back with us. I know this is about current things, and but if anybody saw that football game on Saturday, the current thing is going to be this Sunday. Go Cardinals. I see we got a Cardinal shirt in the stand. That's great. Thank you for wearing that. Tonight, we're going to have a lot of executive sessions. It's going to take us a while to get done with. So this is a brand new year. Let's keep it going. We've got 1 month in the book, or a month, half a month, I guess. So we're on a good scale. I haven't been throwing any rocks at yet, so I'm okay. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be going into executive session here in just a minute, and that will end it. We will come back out after the executive session and close the meeting out here.
Make a
Need a
motion
motion?
to adjourn to executive session.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adjourn to executive session. Any other discussion? Hearing none, I call for the question. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. We will be going to executive session.